A lot of women feel like they're failing at wellness, when really, the system that they're trying to follow was never built for real life in the first place. Hi, welcome to Let's Talk Ladies Lifestyle with Laur. I'm your host, Coach Laur. So excited to be here today. So I really just want to get right into it with this one. Life can definitely get the best of us sometimes. And I really don't think it's that women struggle with the consistency. I think it's that they struggle with the version of consistency that they were taught. So I've noticed generation upon generation upon generation of women have learned many of these habits and thought processes from their mothers or aunts, whoever, any other women in their family that raised them. And I can see it. I can see it visually through the generations in a lot of different families, friends' families, my own family. That's kind of where I started realizing that it's not that we can't be consistent. It's not that you can't reach a goal. It's that these goals and this consistency or level of consistency that you're looking for is not attainable. It's not real. So today's episode really just focuses on why messy seasons of life are just as important as the perfect ones. So, what is a perfect routine, right? That perfect routine, working out super early in the morning, all the fun little matching containers, the big meal prepping, and these are all great things, mind you. I'm not saying these are negative things. It's setting yourself to that expectation of doing that every single day, 365 days a year. So when you don't do that or you don't have the opportunity to, eat perfectly, get up super early in the morning, work out, take your greens, take all your vitamins and your supplements, like, of course, these are all things that as a health coach we want for our, clients. Of course. I mean, I try to do it myself as well, and there's not always going to be, the opportunity to do so, and that's where I see the big struggle. It's not being able to do everything perfect all the time and then being like, well, I already fucked up, so I might as well just forget it. And because I obviously can't stick to routines, I can't seem to ever stick to a routine and, beating yourself up for things. But it's really not that simple. And sure, that version, that perfect version of the perfect consistency, of course it feels good. Of course we want to strive, to do well. The problem is when you start believing that that version of consistency and perfection is the only version that counts towards your goals or towards, your steps to success. Your screw ups are just as important as your perfect days and consistency because that's how you learn, that's how you kind of build mentally to be able to sustain this kind of good eating habits and things over time for as it's a lifestyle change. It's not just let's go crazy, pedal to the metal. And of course, we always push our clients to strive, you know, and reach, of course, reach for your highest goals, but there's always a need to be realistic as well. So setting those goals for yourself, of course, is just, like the timeline, the realistic timeline. That's what the clients hate to hear. That's probably the biggest one, honestly, is that realistic timeline. That's what we struggle with. It's okay not to like lose 40 pounds in 4 weeks, you know? Like that's okay. Like maybe you do, and that's great, but you don't have to. The two things can exist at once. Our society has a lot of black and white thinking, which I've already kind of talked about, and how that directly relates to a lot of people's, especially women's relationships with food, eating, dieting, all of that. Everything's very black or white. And once you get to, mix those colors together, that's where the real progress starts. So why do so many women feel like they're failing? Why do they feel like they can't lose the weight? They feel like they can't reach the goals. If it's just that easy, then why? Because a lot of these plans are great, but what happens when you go on vacation? What happens when the kids have a game late and you're not able to stick to your meal plan? You have to pick something up. What happens if you have a work dinner and it doesn't veer onto your plan? There's very rare situations where you should have to bring your own meal to like a dinner or like a birthday or any kind of event unless you want to, unless you truly want to, but you should never feel like you have to because there's always a way to find something that can be integrated into your plan. Even if it's something very adjusted, not on the menu, there's definitely a way. I've always done it because there's no need to feel isolated because food is such a social thing as well. It's in our culture and in many cultures. I am also Spanish, so in the Spanish culture, food is something that brings togetherness. It's something that bonds families, friends. So to feel isolated from that experience, even if you're there, to feel isolated from that experience and it takes a toll on you over time for sure. And then that's when you kind of have the big explosion and say, screw this, I'm done, and then revert completely back to all the old bad habits. And that's not what we want. That's what we want to avoid because that's that vicious cycle that we always talk about. That is so common with women that I just see constantly. I see it constantly with clients. I see it constantly with friends, family, you name it. I've seen it for sure. So during those busy weekends, those travel times, those special events, if you can't work your plan into that, then that plan is not sustainable for your real life. I'll say that again. If you can't work your nutrition plan into your everyday life, then it is not a sustainable nutrition plan for you. That's why here we really focus on one integration and making sure that your plan is built and personalized exactly for you, taking in all aspects of life from social, cultural, mental, physical, emotional, you name it, we cover it because all of those things are little pieces of the puzzle that create your entire lifestyle goal plan, whatever your ideal lifestyle or weight, physique, whatever it may be, whatever your ideal goal is, that's how you reach it. All those little pieces. You can't have a picture without the individual pieces. A whole picture is made up of all tiny little pieces, little scenes, little things. That's why art is so beautiful because if you look at a big painting or you look at a big piece of art or a puzzle or whatever it may be, whatever that image is, there's so many different little things in it that compile to that whole image. There's so many details, so many specific little things going on. That is such a perfect metaphor for your health and your wellness and reaching your goals because all those little pieces, even the crappy ones, even the days that suck, even the times that you might have a binge, even on those times where you don't follow your plan at all, you don't do any of your supplements, you don't exercise for a long period of time. Those pieces still need to be put into the puzzle. They can't just be thrown away. They can't just be discarded. They're part of your picture. They're part of the picture of your life. And that's what we're going to be building here with our Life Track program. That all or nothing mindset, yeah, the second you walk through our doors, throw that puppy out the window. We don't do that crap here. No all or nothing mindset, no black or white thinking, just support. Because that all or nothing mindset is just damaging you. It's making you think if I can't do everything perfectly, then I might as well just do nothing. And I've been there. Trust me, I have been there. And sometimes I feel that way about a lot of things, honestly. But it's what you do with those thoughts and then how you move on from them and process them. That's that's the money right there. That's really what's important. And that's what we work on here. I've seen so many women kind of have the light bulb click on in their head and be like, I don't have to live like this. And that as a coach is just such an amazing feeling to see women kind of catching on and finally realizing that their lives don't need to be, slaving over what you're eating or what you're not eating. Right. So it's so important to be able to have that perspective as a coach, know what it's kind of like to not be heard or understood because so many women operate day to day like every day is going to be exactly the same all the time. And that's just not the case. Every day is different. Every one of us are different. So, how in the world could this cookie cutter nutrition plan ever benefit you long term? Short term, sure. All of these things like intermittent fasting and, different dieting tactics, that's a great way to maybe lose weight short term, but they're not going to be sustainable for the rest of your life. And that's what a lot of women don't realize. Same with all the weight loss drugs as well. Great jumpstart for some people that really do need it. People that are on the pre-diabetic scale, people that are on the obesity scale, high weights, risk for, any chronic health conditions. That's the thing. They have to be used properly. I mean, if we were all the same every day, it'd be a lot easier, right? I mean, of course, it would be easier to reach your goals and everything when you're super predictable and you know what's going to happen all the time. But unfortunately, that's not how it works, especially with the human body and especially with the female body. So the sooner you come to terms with that and you're able to understand that, then every step after that is just lighter and gets lighter and lighter and lighter and easier and easier. And then before you know it, you're at the top of the mountain and you're like, holy crap, you can see the whole picture. The whole picture has been put together and you see all these little pictures and little pieces of your story and your timeline. And looking back and being able to reflect on that and be like, yeah, I did that shit. That's the goal here. We want you to be able to look back at your time here and say, wow, I learned so much that I'm going to be able to now carry into the rest of my life and utilize for the rest of my life. That's why this plan isn't just like you're paying for your 4 months and then you're done and you have nothing really to use after the fact. You get sent monthly little updates, even as alumni, you get sent little monthly things and little special things after, your time's up here. So you're going to get continuous information, you're going to get continuous resources, and also your special deals and opportunities to rejoin at lower rates and things like that. So this is a program that's meant to help you long term. We don't want to just have you for a couple months and say, peace, see you later. I want to really integrate with our clients and make sure that there's that working relationship and that long-term relationship so they feel supported and they have a community to come back to. So what I want you guys to take away from this one is that even the crappy days matter. Even the worst seasons of your life, they form the big picture. They come together to form the big picture with all the great and amazing milestones that you do hit as well. Because not everything's bad. It might feel like that from time to time. Trust me, I'm right there. Sometimes it can really just feel like the world sucks and everything sucks, and I'm never going to make any strides in my goals or do anything that I want to do. But sometimes it takes a moment for us. We need to just step back and look at the big picture. The big picture is what we find difficult as humans to kind of see and look at, especially if it's not all there yet, if it's not all filled in. It's like, well, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't see anything. It's like, because you have to build it. And that takes time. That takes a lot of time that people, especially in this day and age, do not want to wait. Next time you're feeling down on yourself, next time you don't think that you're being consistent or perfect enough, I want you to take a step back and look at the big picture. There might be some missing pieces, some missing areas, and that's okay because they will be filled in. And that's what we can do together. Fill those in our Life Track program, which will be at a discounted rate for our beta testing for our brand new restructured program. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I highly recommend that you check it out. Link will be in the show notes. I really appreciate you guys coming and watching today. If you really liked what you saw, please subscribe, like, share, all the things. Really would appreciate you guys sharing this, get the word out, because I'm really excited to kind of share this with everybody and really get the ball rolling. So let's build a life you love together. Bye, guys.